Right now on the program, let's get an update on how things have progressed through harvest season and how things are wrapping up across the northern plains, particularly in parts of North Dakota and into eastern Montana. Joining us now, Agronomic Service Representative at Syngenta, Aaron Froemke is with us here today. Aaron, thanks for joining us on the program. Hope all is well.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Jesse.
Well, give us a bit of a recap here as we close out the book on harvest season 2025. How were things in general across your territory, Aaron?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so when we were getting into midsummer, everything was looking great. Rains were coming in nice. Pretty much getting some significant rains every single month. So conditions were great for wheat and canola crops. We were getting rains, we were getting cooler temperatures. So as far as wheat and canola crops, we had really good yields, and it seemed like for the most part, everyone was happy with those two crops. Then we move into corn and soybean. A little bit later into the summer into early fall, the rains just kind of shut off for a little bit. Also we had early frost that came as well. I think those were kind of two contributing factors that limited our soybean yield potential. A lot of the newer pods seemed like they had small seeds in them, or they even were aborted. That could be due to those two reasons, or maybe a couple other environmental conditions. But I've heard kind of some disappointed growers with their soybean yields. But then moving into corn yields are actually looking pretty good. As you get to eastern to central North Dakota, they're really good, average or above average. But then as you get into the western part of North Dakota, then we start to kind of just get down to average. They had a couple environmental spells that limited their yield on their corn out west, but still average yields out west. So everybody seems to be happy.
Well, of course, when you look in the northern plains, I mean, just diverse crops, wheat, canola, corn, soybeans, you name it. And thinking about all the different weed pressures, disease pressures, pest pressures, there's a lot of things out there that I know agronomists and farmers have to pay attention to. Any key highlights from this year? Was there anything in particular that was a challenge for growers?
Yeah, there was one. I heard a lot of cases where, so we didn't necessarily have the correct environmental conditions around early flowering in wheat. So a lot of guys didn't go out with a fungicide. And then I heard that a lot of guys wish they would have, because they did see some fusarium pressure coming through their wheat and then in their grain as they harvested. And then the guys that did end up spraying, they had some fields that they didn't spray their. So our product is Miravis Ace. Is what we recommend with Syngenta spraying on early flowering in wheat for fusarium control in specific. But a lot of guys wish they would have sprayed, because they had really good yield bumps, and even with kind of the stay green effect that our Miravis brands provide, they had a little bit of better plant health as well throughout the season.
Well, as producers wrap things up here for 2025 and think about any late season field work and preparing for next year, let's talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Any end of season tips on the agronomic side you would have for folks here as we close out 2025?
Yeah, for sure. We like to start clean and stay clean. So in some cases that may start in the fall with fall applied pre-emergence products. So, for example, we would have our Broadax product that can be used pre to soybean, as well as pea crops. That has Spartan and Dual in it. That has two residual products, so you do need to add a burn down product with it, which Gramoxone works really well with it. At the moment, there really isn't any weeds that are resistant to Gramoxone. You just got to make sure you spray it correctly with the right rates, nozzles, gallons per acre, and all that. But if you have a lot of winter annual weeds coming up, it would be a really good idea to get those killed. Even so, for example, horseweed. If you have a lot of winter annual horseweed popping up, even if that one application of Gramoxone to kill what is up, if sprayed at the right time, can reduce that population up to 90% reduction this following spring. So in some cases, it really does help. I know guys after harvest, they just want to put everything away and just kind of lock up for the season. But in some cases, going out with a fall applied pre-emergence product and then also burn down can really help you the following year.
Well, and of course, a lot of producers making those decisions for next year right now, and some of those late season fall type of things you mentioned. As we look ahead to next year, I have to think as well that producers can learn lessons from this growing season and the last several to help inform some of these decisions, right, Aaron?
Yep, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know another issue we had this year was it was mainly due to the prices of the crops. As the commodity
Yeah.
prices were low, which was unfortunate. It's understandable why guys wanted to start cutting areas, but a lot of guys wanted to cut down their pre-emergence programs with going before their soybean and also corn. And I did notice quite a few soybean fields that had pretty decent weed pressure later in the season. I kind of feel like that may be due to that reason. So I guess I'd just like to mention to make sure we are putting those pre's out still. I know a lot of guys want to cut costs, but that's not the best place to cut costs because we do see that later season weed pressure that'll take away from yield in the end.
Well, and I know if producers have questions, they could reach out to their local Syngenta representative like yourself, or go online, contact their local retailer. A lot of ways to get in touch to ask questions and learn more about those Syngenta products, right, Aaron?
Yep, yeah, for sure. Yeah, myself, and then there's also 3 sales reps that are kind of scattered out throughout North Dakota, one in Montana, one in Fargo, and one in Bismarck. So we're scattered out pretty well across the state. So yeah, we're pretty easy to reach out to. All of us are really easy to talk to, and we're more than willing to help.
Well, again, reach out to your local representative or online for more information from Syngenta. With that, Agronomic Service Representative at Syngenta, Aaron Froemke, thanks for joining us here on the program today and giving us a recap of the 2025 growing season. Thanks for the time.
Yep, thank you, Jesse.